You have a lot of money laying around your room.
Yeah, it's a problem. I should
just have too much bread.
Yeah, the bread. Right, does the camera look okay?
I don't know.
I sure hope so.
And I don't have notes for this one. I figure we'll just raw dog it. And how are we all doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Doing great.
All right, who am I here with?
Connor Smith.
Tucker Gibson.
And I'm Dylan Gibson, your host, as per usual. Welcome back to Pulp. Welcome to Pulp Diction, the podcast where I talk about movies with my friends for an academic obligation. Who wants to introduce what we will be discussing today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about Invincible.
Invincible, specifically season 3, because that just ended.
Oh, it ended. But it ended.
It ended. But we can jump around, see where the wind takes us, and I mean, we were gonna have to talk about this show at some point or another, right? Because I mean, it's one of the best superhero things to come out in the past, like, ever.
When did Endgame come out?
2019.
So in the past...
It's 6 years!
Oh, God.
Oh, no! Oh, Tucker, you don't
1 minute in, we're already having
Dude,
existential crises.
Dude, we were like fresh into middle school, and we're about to graduate.
No, we were 7th grade.
7th grade.
It was when the Fortnite World Cup happened.
Oh!
I would know. I played.
Didn't we all?
No, I actually...
You were in it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I played qualifiers. That's not the point. We're not here to talk about my crowning achievement.
Of course.
We're here to talk about...
Invincible, written by Robert Kirkman, based on the comics by Robert Kirkman, I should say, who famously also wrote the Walking Dead comics.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I wrote them.
Oh, really?
It was me.
It was all
actually.
Connor's.
Yeah,
I actually have heard that rumor.
Yeah, it was actually me. I'm actually Robert Kirkman.
Are you?
What?
It's an honor.
That's
It's an honor.
yeah.
What
It's
the heck?
actually crazy. I know.
Wow.
No. I read the comics when I heard season 1 was coming out. I was like, I should read them. This season has surpassed my expectations.
Wow.
There are multiple times that I have stated that they did it better than the comics.
Mm-hmm. Which Kirkman himself has said that, like, he kind of sees the show sometimes as an opportunity to improve upon things that he didn't like so much when he was writing them. I'm not sure what any examples would be. I mean, take the Conquest fight. I mean, I don't know if we should save that for later since it's the season finale.
Well,
or if we should just get into it.
The biggest thing is now the new plot line they're doing that doesn't exist in the comics as the end of the, like, post-credit scene. That doesn't exist in the comics.
With the devil guy, played by my goat, Bruce Campbell.
That doesn't exist in the comics.
Is he dead?
No.
Oh, why?
Because he's the goat.
Because he's my goat.
Okay.
But that doesn't exist in the comics, so I'm going in blind on something for once.
That's gotta be nice.
It's actually kind of scary. Well, not really, because the show jumps around. The comics are very different.
Right.
Like, Angstrom happens after, or, like, before Chicago, his first introduction.
Oh, really?
Like, he gets his brain like that. Isn't that? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the Mahler twins aren't actually twins for a while. It's just one Mahler.
Yeah.
There's stuff that doesn't exist that has been changed, which I think is much for the better. Again, the Conquest fight.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one for me was Omni-Man, like, killing the
Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they kind of just skip over it, right? In the comics?
Yeah, and it's a lot less of a... He gets beat up in the show. In the comics, he doesn't. In the comics, it's... he goes into the fight and he kills most of them before they can even realize who it is.
Yeah.
Which...
Because he's so fast.
Yeah, he's so fast.
He's their
literally...
He's their Superman analog, right?
Yeah, he literally just evaporates them, except the Immortal gets one look at him, and then he dies, and that's why the whole, like, screaming coming back thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they did it a lot better in the show of, like, there's this mystery behind it of, why is he doing this? He doesn't say a word.
No, episode 1 of season 1 of Invincible is such a masterclass in just animated and superhero storytelling. Because, like, they set it up, and you're like, okay, it's a nice, cute little, fun, whatever, superhero show. His dad's a superhero, nice little coming-of-age story. And
you
then
get the credits,
and
then the credits stop, and you're like, what's going on here?
And, you know, post-credit scenes in recent years have also become sort of a staple of the superhero genre. And then you have this scene, and it's like this huge holy shit moment, because it's so brutal.
And if you watched it on Prime with your autoplay feature, I found this out the other day. It actually skips that part. The autoplay goes to the next episode because of the credits.
That's vile.
Because we have someone at our school who was watching it and was like, I didn't really like episode 1. And they're like, I went into episode 2 and all these characters died, but I don't know how they died.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just kind of, he's like, so I stopped the show. Because he had the autoplay on and he didn't realize that there's an end credit scene. So
that's rough.
That actually killed a lot of people and that shocks me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. The comics are also weird with the Guardians. Like it takes issue 7 to get to before you have them die.
Yeah.
It is not like you're not thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you get that with a comic media is because you're not limited by budget so much of you have to kind of hook these people.
Right.
But I think the show still does it better.
Of course. And Tucker, you read the comics up to a certain point.
I read it up until after the Conquest fight, actually. So
okay.
yeah, I definitely think the show does it better.
I think I read up to the Angstrom-Levy fight. Because I read it. No, I read it like during the season 2 break. Thank goodness they didn't do that again.
That was horrible,
that was
dude.
So dumb.
I don't even there's all the jokes about the animation and stuff.
Yeah.
But stuff some of these fans pull out, like, oh my gosh, in the Conquest fight when him and Eve are like this, you can see 2 eyes. I'm like, dog, I didn't even notice that because my jaw was on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, you noticed this because you were looking for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Voice actors, I don't care what you say. This is the most star-studded superhero voice acting cast you have.
There's not a bad performance in the show, I don't think.
Well, have you heard the thing where Bryan Cranston keeps getting requests to go on the show and they reject him every time?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought that was
you know he'd kill it though.
He would do insane.
I'm curious now because most people know there's another big bad coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a couple in between the really big overarching bad that you get of the show. And I don't know who they're going to voice for him now. Because I was convinced Jeffrey Dean Morgan was going to do it.
Oh.
But he's been taken.
He's Conquest.
And I don't even care.
And he did a wonderful job. I mean, Conquest is so beautifully sadistic and just messed up. And they add this whole layer to him.
Yeah.
I am so lonely.
I for real blacked out in the gym the other day.
All the other villains
I was
are
just
scared of me. They think I'm unstable.
I thought I kind of was about to worry he was going to do something else tomorrow.
My dude was getting freaky. I actually thought I was about to hear a zzz.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
400-pound Viltrumite on you, 7 feet tall, I'm so lonely. I don't know. You can't do much.
Dude.
Whispering in your ear.
Yeah.
One thing I did not like, I don't like how they did the Rex funeral. The comics Rex funeral is so much better.
I agree.
I know why they did it, because they wanted to do it this season. I almost wish they started next season off with it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Probably.
But I think it was fine. It's easier, I think, to make a sad scene in a comic where you only have panels, not where you have to do stuff. People are like, they're just standing still. What else do you do at a funeral? But I thought the aesthetic of it could have been better. But again, you also just had the best animated fight I've seen in I don't even know when.
What other animated fight? I'm sure anime has a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, this one was just
perfect.
I love the way he literally dribbled Oliver on the ground like a volleyball.
Yes.
You don't realize this kid is already defying gravity with flight. You hit him out of the air and bounce him off the concrete like a volleyball.
That was a diabolical
You
smack.
did not need to do that to him. But I don't even know who could be better than Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The describing of like the skin tearing your vertebrae coming up. It was
it's very Negan.
Oh my god. But and then I'm like, who else could have done it? And I don't know anyone else who could really I could see do it other than.
And even if they did, it wouldn't be the same. He has this very unique energy that he brought to it, and I love that.
Well, have you seen him in the voice studio, the Invincible HQ? I'm like, oh my god, he's got the smile.
He's into it. He's got that.
Like, this guy knows.
It's like he's back in The Walking Dead all over again, which it is a very funny, almost callback, having his actor of Negan and the actor of Glenn fighting.
And then, spoiler
Tucker,
alert.
I don't know if you know.
I know.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Glenn got his get back, smashed his head in after getting his stuff smashed in. I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
Never saw The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I read all the comics.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one episode of the show.
I've seen the show. I've read the comics. I've also seen the spinoffs. Don't watch the spinoffs. God, the love. You watch the first 2 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, and then don't watch anything else.
Got you.
What else? The Invincible War, I really liked.
It was great.
Some of the way Stephen Young did those voices, I know why they did them differently, but like Sinister Mark, bro, his voice is sounding like a prepubescent teen was kind of
dead. Dude, he lost all the aura that he got from that one scene in season 2. You know?
Oh, gosh.
If you think you could stop us, don't forget I'm
invincible. Which I like they obviously have that whole trope where the title card where they cut people off. And I like how they kind of play around with it at least once every season. Like in season 2, it was the first episode where they keep kind of edging you like, don't forget, I'm invincible. He's going to have to be invincible, etc. And then finally they break it out at the end with Angstrom. And they kind of played around with it again in the Powerplex episode.
Did the exact opposite.
Which was hilarious.
I was watching, we were in class when I was watching that, and I was just losing it. Like, why is he just doing that? I'm like, what are they doing? Oh my gosh. But no, there was multiple times this season where my jaw just genuinely dropped my first time watching it. It's like, the whole conquest fight, I was shocked.
I was giddy. It was a wonderful. It was a wonderful.
The moment I saw the hair animation, I'm like, it's
so back. Yeah, the hair.
Oh my god, there's just
and like the camera, quote unquote, moving around them as they're fighting. Like that's hard to do. So mad respect.
The fact that I just. Again, it's so hard to think of everything else from the show now because all I really have is you have Chicago, you have Episode 7, Invincible War, and then you have Conquest Fight, and it's like,
I know.
Yeah, there's so much other good stuff about this show.
And it's insane that the Powerplex episode is like, I mean, that was so good, but all we're talking about is Conquest and the Invincible
because
War.
you had the biggest, you had 3 of the best plot lines.
Yes, back to back.
Oh my gosh, we were eating good for so long.
We were.
They made Powerplex so much better than in the comics.
Gosh.
In the comics, Powerplex is like, he kind of just kills his family, and then he blames Invincible. It's not during the fight, and like you don't have the whole niece and everything.
He's very interesting because, like, on one hand, he does bring up a sort of valid point about the collateral damage and all that. Kind of Batman v Superman-esque, as much as I despise that movie.
What are you talking about? It's the best movie.
Okay, shut up. But
you were gonna say something.
No, I wasn't. but also, I mean. Aaron Paul obviously did.
Oh my gosh! And now
sublime, but like he's very mentally unwell. He's a very unstable character.
Yeah, and it's less of he's just in this. He's a lot more of you can see his reasoning behind like his niece and nephew. You can see, like, is it a valid point?
Maybe
the niece and the family one isn't, but it's a lot better than a show of him testing out his powers and killing his family accidentally. Where in the show he's like fighting Invincible. Which is really funny that, like, he's going to save her, and then she's spitting on him, and it's just like, oh my god.
Like, she's just as bad as he is.
Yeah.
It's really...
like, you can't help but
Insane.
think maybe he could have gotten the help he needed if his wife wasn't, like, egging him on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, willing to hit him with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. And which, I don't know. And, like, that whole, I don't know if they did that in the comics with the discs, but, like, stabbing into him.
You don't really have that gruesomeness.
that
of
whole
it.
sadism sort of aspect.
He was
like, hurting himself so that he's able to hurt Invincible.
And he can't take him out because if he takes him out, he dies. It's like,
It's so good. It's such a simple power, like converting kinetic energy or whatever, but it's so fascinating to watch. It's really interesting. And I love when they're able to do interesting things with interesting powers. Let's talk about Adam Eve. Because they kind of, this whole show, not just this season, they've kind of been wasting her. What?
Nothing.
No, he didn't say anything.
They have been. Okay. I went and I watched the Adam Eve special. I will say, I have not watched it until episode 8 finished. And then I'm like, I feel like I should probably watch this.
Yeah.
Her role in the last episode is so much better than in the comics. Mm-hmm. Because in the comics, she shows up, she gets her shit absolutely rocked. And then she wakes up, and that's it. She doesn't blast him with a beam.
Yeah.
She doesn't, like, do anything in this fight.
Which, like,
she doesn't take him
skins
away.
him, by the way.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
insane.
Nothing. She does absolutely. She shows up. She takes attention away after, like, he gets knocked out or something.
Puts up a real good fight for a little bit.
But in the comics, she literally takes attention away, gets a fist through her stomach after getting her face pulverized, and then is gone. She doesn't wake back up and do that.
It's absurd.
She just see, like, the glowing light, and then he's like, "How are you alive?"
Well, then she talks about the manipulating the air molecules, which was like completely
Making
out
that
of
was
left
so
field.
much, like, dense.
And then my thought process is, why didn't you do that for the Invincible War? It's
Right.
like, why
Or
didn't
any
you
other
just-
fight in the entire show.
Yeah.
Like,
or like, yeah, anything else?
No, the issue with having a character like Adam Eve is she can only be as creative as the writers are.
yeah.
And the writers just haven't been putting in effort.
And as the comics get on, her powers do get better. Her powers are kind of bummy in the comics as well. Except in the whole, I want to go help the world. She goes to Africa instead of a random forest, and she actually does stuff in Africa. One thing we did skip over though, and I don't know how you feel about this: the Amber storyline.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know about the Amber storyline? You haven't read the comics.
I read up to a point.
So in the comics, Amber's new boyfriend beats the shit out of her.
Really?
Yeah, he gives her a black eye.
Oh.
And so there's this kind of, at the start of the Adam, Eve, and Invincible relationship, you have this kind of back and forth of, rather than at the bowling alley, it's kind of a mutual, they see each other respectfully. Amber goes to him and is kind of like asking for help with her boyfriend who gave her a black eye. And it looks awful in the comics. Like,
right.
terrifying. Where in the show, they don't do that. The boyfriend's just kind of there as like a... I don't even know why he's there. It's kind of just moving on from that storyline.
I think that's it.
And I think it was smart that they didn't show a woman getting hit by her abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I think it also kind of changes that whole dynamic between them.
Yeah.
Where it's like adding that tension to Eve and Mark's relationship.
Like he still wants to help her? Or
He wants to help her, but she's doing it in a very damsel in distress kind of eggy way.
Yeah.
But...
Which is like kind of what they tried to steer Amber away from in the show, that whole damsel in distress type deal.
But they just made her.
But yeah, that's the issue.
I do not like Amber, and I don't like her because literally only she knew Mark was invincible. She's all about, let's go help these people at a soup kitchen. You didn't show up at a soup kitchen. You were saving a city from a world-ending threat, but you didn't come to the soup kitchen, so you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Cut that out. That's the only reason I didn't like her. I didn't care if they changed her skin color. Fine, do what you want with that. But I don't like the people going, you don't like Amber because of that. No, I don't like Amber because she sucks. She was a bitch.
Yeah.
She was a sorry for my swearing. I keep doing it.
Say what you want.
bad.
Let me know if you want to censor anything.
I don't care. It's
Awesome.
fine. I don't care. It's your podcast, not mine. No, so I do not like her in that. But it was strange not seeing that. I got very scared when I saw the boyfriend at the bowling alley. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna see the scene. I like what they're doing with Titan. Him in the comics is lame.
Oh, the black guy.
Yeah, the crime boss.
Yeah.
Other stuff. The Rex scene was so much better than in the comics.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My goat.
Fraud Mortal, about the same as he is in the comics. He doesn't really do anything in the
No,
comics.
I've been loving all the memes about the Immortal and like both the ones like the Immortal says in the shower 3 days later, get away from him,
Mark.
but also the ones like glazing the peak mortal for no reason.
Yeah. The Immortal, like, I don't know. He's a lot more fleshed out here.
Yeah.
But you can't really have him going and saying, I've done enough for this world after every time we've seen you on screen, you're getting your fade ran by...
Right.
Like, literally, Mark was a superhero for 2 weeks before, like, even he was getting his fade ran by Mark. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, you can't be saying I've done enough for this world when all we've seen you is getting beat up.
Of course.
What else? There's so much good from this season, and it's hard to think.
It's great.
Like,
do you want... Yeah. I can pull up the... We can go like sort of episode by episode.
Well, it's so hard because I mean, you just have Conquest, you have Powerplex, you have this Angstrom rematch.
It's like what even happened in the beginning of the season, you know?
Oh, the "Don't you ever threaten me again" getting picked up.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually. So there's the whole conflict this season between Cecil and Mark. This whole trust thing. He put a thing in his ear. Sort of a contingency plan. Who do we think was right in this scenario?
I think the reasoning I could see the reasoning from Cecil. I don't think it's okay to put like a murderous device in someone's ear.
Right.
But when he even said it. He's like, right after Chicago, you were beaten to a pulp, we put it in. It's like, yeah, we just watched your dad level a city after working for us for
however many
17 years. More than 17 years. So...
You can't expect him not to have trust issues.
But I think what they did with the flashback of like how he came to be, I think that really helped make it reasonable.
Like, you understand... I think it's hard not to understand Cecil at the very least.
I just don't think it was taken the best way. It's like, I think I understand why they put it there. I don't think he should have.
Like, on one hand, Mark wasn't really hearing him out, like, at all.
No.
And on the other hand, Cecil was kind of
jumping the gun,
not really explaining it.
Yeah, like taking him to the White Room, like, instantly.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which he was scared out of his mind, and anyone would be.
You would be too. You watch, what?
Like, you're seeing this world's equivalent of a Superman-level hero angry at you. You're gonna be shitting a few bricks.
Every time I see it, I get upset. Cecil keeping Conquest alive.
Bro. Oh my gosh. That's the biggest...
I feel like I can say this, and everyone knows it's gonna happen. It's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go wrong with that.
What? I don't know what bro is thinking.
Something will go wrong. And I could even know something was gonna go wrong when I was reading it.
Just when Mark is starting to, like, trust him again, too.
It's like, burn the body. You're doing the same thing you just got in a fight with him at the beginning of the season over.
You're so cooked. Like, oh my gosh.
I don't know. My Cecil, like, he deepened a lot in this season, though. Like, his character.
Definitely. No, I loved his backstory.
He's also just a better character than he is in the comics. He does have that backstory. But he's just a little puppy in that story. He just takes... He's more of a way for money to come into the story for the heroes, and like a way for like a kind of statement on like a government thing. But he is not what he is in the comics. Like, the GDA doesn't originally own Guardians of the Globe.
Right.
Darkwing owns it. It's Darkwing's. So like the
he's
original
this world's like Batman.
The original Guardians is a lot more fleshed out than what we had. We don't really know the original Guardians. We know Red Rush, which was the same in the comics, and then you know the Immortal. But you don't know, like, War Woman gets almost an entire issue. I don't remember the green person's name.
Whatever her name
Martian
was.
Man. They all get, like, kind of their own aspects, where in this, Cecil kind of takes over that of, like, that human aspect of it. speaking of War Woman, if you were paying attention in the like Crime Boss episode, if you look at the table, in episode 1, you see War Woman's wife. She's at that table.
Really?
Yep, she's the redhead, I think, at the table.
That's very interesting.
So I love that they do this with these characters of these callbacks and stuff.
Oh yeah, they very much like remember that this like details in this world are not forgotten. Everything that happens matters, and that's what's unique about Invincible when you compare it to other superhero universes like Marvel, for instance. They had the snap. They like to call it the blip, which I still think is a stupid name. They had the snap a few years back, and like now, look at Daredevil Born Again. They still barely acknowledge it.
Which makes no sense.
Well,
That's such a huge event.
In like season 1, they had like one little instance where they were like, "Okay, look at the new paper," and like they showed like, do you remember that?
What?
In season 1 of Daredevil?
No.
In the original Daredevil, they like make references to Avengers and stuff, and every now and then.
But is that
like
canon anymore?
The original Daredevil? Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's like on the official Disney Plus timeline and everything, I think. But like, what I'm saying is like, the snap was this huge event. Everyone, half the universe
the world
was dead for 5 years.
Well, and then
they just gloss over it. Like, there are so many questions. What if somebody whose husband died remarried, and then their husband comes back? What?
That's kind of cool.
Right? Like, what if Daredevil was gone for those 5 years, and that's how Kingpin was able to regain power? There's so.
But then you did Echo.
Then they did Echo.
Why'd you do Echo?
And they've glossed over so much. That's an empty Cheats gift card.
That's Why? This was here the last time I was here months ago.
I'll be taking that.
It's empty.
Oh.
And but yeah, Marvel is like so guilty, comics and movies, of just glossing over events. Nothing has permanent consequences, and Invincible is different.
Well,
a character dies. Usually, they stay dead.
Well, you can even see the person whose arm he's holding in episode 1 is Powerplex's sister. It's like, that's the arm he's holding, and it's the same shirt, it's the same spot.
Yeah,
he's holding her arm after trying to save him in Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's in episode 1. It's like they know what they're doing.
Things matter. These are real people in an unreal world.
And they didn't do that in the comics. That's not something you just do. This is like new stuff, and I think it shows so much love.
It's so interconnected. Like, they understand what they're doing. They understand how to make it work.
And this hurts me to say, the only project that ever did the blip justice was the Spider-Man movie. And even that made more
Far
jokes
From
about
Home
it.
is the most.
And the Captain America show,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
which was such a bad show.
Not a good show.
It was such a bad show, but it's the only one that actually did justice because you had a group of people fighting for the rights of. And I'm like, my god!
Like, Far From Home is the deepest they've gone into the blip, and like the most they did with that was like high school drama.
But that was like the perfect opportunity to bring you to a more grounded thing. Like, you focus on the Daredevils, the Punisher, like even the like Hawkeye afterwards. You don't go to these world-ending threats again. This is your back to your basics, your Iron Man 1, your Captain America. You show stuff of people helping these like low-life criminals that came up when all of the cops were gone, or like you said. That's what you do. And instead of that, they did Quantumania. And that movie's
Never watched it.
Good golly.
I won't.
So, moral of the story, I have canceled my Disney Plus subscription because of some of the disappointment in Star Wars and in Marvel projects.
Hey, we got Andor next month.
I will restart it for that, and then I will end it again.
Of course.
I can't, in good conscience, do that. But Amazon Prime, I'm keeping that one open.
Heck yeah, bro. I mean, even if it weren't for the video stuff, like, Amazon Prime is just nice to have for shopping.
Well, once you have it, it's hard to live without.
It's hard to get
It's like YouTube
it.
Premium. I used a free trial, and now I can never unuse it. Because even on computer now, like, you get the ads and stuff.
It's unbearable.
Oh my gosh. That's $13.99 I spend every month. But back to the original topic, Invincible. God.
Well, even the ending was like a callback to season 1 with the alien dudes, like the virus thing. The freaking like the pink little thingies.
The parasites.
The sequence.
The sequence.
That was sick.
Oh, I'm so excited for that to be put on TV.
I know.
Oh man,
that was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it hurts to read the comics because I know what is coming. and I want it earlier. Because, like, not knowing is hard, but knowing, I feel like, because of how good they've done it with it, is even harder for me.
Do you think I should read the comics before next
I don't
season?
know, because there's part of me that wishes I could go into these things blind, because seeing that Conquest fight blind is so good.
Oh my gosh.
But then you have, like, the TikTok clips of, like, Invincible comics being read out, and I hate those. To, like, try not to spoil challenge level impossible Invincible.
To do that.
And I don't know why they do, because if I could, I would want no one to spoil these.
No, people are just dicks for no reason.
I've seen so many
It's
like
so
little things.
It's so bad.
And it kind of hurts me every time I see those, because it's like, yeah, I've read them, but, like, if I didn't read them, I'd be pissed off if there's no spoiler warning, nothing. It's just a clip of...
I know, bro.
Like
Adam Eve getting a hole punched through her.
Yeah. I think Angstrom in the comics is funnier than he is in the show.
Really?
And I think I liked the Walking Dead kind of call, if you noticed, in the original Angstrom
with the
season
zombie
2 with the zombies.
Yeah.
But it's so much better in the comics because he's like stuck there. He like sees a superhero. It's like the What If kind of episode.
Yeah.
And then he gets teleported out.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Fortnite reference. I thought it was
awesome.
fake. I thought it was fake when I first saw it online.
I
was
freaked out
like,
when I saw
Fortnite.
Fortnite gun. He had the Fortnite gun. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. And you know, in the comics it's during the Angstrom fight that he has his Spider-Man crossover.
And I think that was a lot better in the show or in the comics, just because it was
because it gets like a whole issue.
Yeah,
and like he meets the Avengers too.
The Batman one, the Avengers one is the best one because he's like solving all these problems for the Avengers, and they're like, "How'd you do that so quickly?" Because in his world, the villains are not like Marvel villains and Invincible villains are very different. It's like when you have Mark, who just got like obliterated by his father, solving like, oh, I'm the whatever thing in Marvel. I'm a businessman. I want this guy to do this for me so I can be the new Tony Stark.
It's like if Superman was up against Spider-Man villains, you know?
Yeah, like a neighborhood scorpion threat. Superman just picks him up and drops him from a building and lets him almost hit the ground. Yeah. But again, and the Batman issue was so funny. You dress like a bat.
And you call yourself...
But they can't say it.
Yeah, they can't. They kind of dodge around it a little bit.
I'm sad they didn't get to do the Spawn cameo of like the "I've killed you before."
Maybe one day. Maybe we'll get Keith David voicing him.
Oh, I would give so much.
Sorry.
Tucker? Did you watch Spawn?
I watched like the first little bit. Then like I just read some of the comics. I'm not caught up. Not anywhere near.
So there's really good fan edits online of like the Spawn one.
I saw
and
one
the
of those.
Spider-Man one is amazing.
Yeah.
The one where they fully redid
It's great that they got Josh Keaton as well, who voice acted Spider-Man in Spectacular
Spider-Man, the best animated in my opinion.
I concur.
I like the old one. I don't like the Ultimate Spider-Man or whatever.
I'm not a fan.
That pisses me off.
It's so unfunny.
Because they made him like. They tried to do like a Deadpool thing where he talks to you. I'm like, I don't want you talking to me. Talk to yourself.
No, and like the people who grew up with that are now like saying that it's underrated and it's not. That bad.
It's just garbage.
It's not funny.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It tries so hard and it's not.
Where
funny.
Spectacular Spider-Man is like, I'm so mad they canceled it.
I know
because
it's so tragic. They canceled it for Ultimate.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So Ultimate started production with the same team that made it with a different writing team. So the animation team was taken over. And it's so...
The only clips I've seen from Ultimate, other than when I watched it as a little kid when it was always on.
Of course.
Because we did that.
Because we were big Disney
Disney XD guys.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't allowed to watch Disney XD.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I was very little allowed to watch Cartoon Network. So, like, there's a lot of shows I haven't seen. I haven't seen Regular Show. I haven't seen Adventure Time.
I tried to watch Regular Show, and I couldn't get through the first season because I can't stand Rigby. He messes everything up.
Well, I've never watched SpongeBob. Like, I have only seen clips online. I've never actually seen an episode.
Well, we were some of those kids that, like, we go to a party and there's SpongeBob on. We're like, yeah, we're not allowed to watch this.
Yeah.
You gotta turn that
change
off.
it.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I was at my friend's birthday party once, and they were playing. I wasn't allowed to play Call of Duty when I was really little, like 6, and so I had a friend. He would play Call of Duty all the time.
Yeah.
And I'd go, and Halo too. That was another one. I couldn't play that.
Halo.
And so I went over, and they were playing Halo, and they were like, I'm like, I can't play this. So you either have to turn it off.
I've done that. I did that same thing with Halo.
And I went home, and my mom's like, and I can walk to this kid's house. Like, we're neighbors. And so I went home, and my mom's like, why are you home? And I'm like, they were playing Halo. She's like, it's okay for one night. And I was ecstatic. It was like my mind was blown that this was a thing I could do. I'm like, I'm breaking the rules, but I wasn't. My mom was like,
rebel.
Yeah. No, but God, there is so many good Invincible things that they have like skipped over. But overall, I think the show is 10 times better than the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what were you about to say, something, Tucker?
No, I was just thinking, what even was the first episode? I was like, it feels like
of the season.
It was so long.
It was the Cecil one. It was him training, and then they fight, Doc Seismic.
They get the Declaration of Independence back, or no, they try to stop the Declaration of Independence from getting stolen, but then Multi-Paul attacks. Kate and the Immortal come out of retirement.
Storyline
but that's so long ago.
Yeah.
I guess when did that air? February 6th.
Well,
that feels like
that was just over a month ago.
That was before. That was when we were starting our HLES.
Okay. Do you remember that Multiple episode where he was like using the
in the prison
and like stacking them?
Yeah, I think
and like actual
that was kind of
dramming
because like doesn't he feel all that pain?
He's supposed to.
He does, but I think that was like So do you remember their backstory of like, their dad went insane from them, and so Paul went like this whole dark criminal route, and Kate went like this positive one. Kate's a bum anyway. Like, you're trading the goat Rexplode for the fraud Mortal, bro.
I am not gonna buy that Fortnite skin, even though it's free.
I think I have it, and I just archived it. It was a free quest, so I just archived it.
I got you. Yeah.
I wouldn't keep you as I wanted the Ray.
I wouldn't even keep you as a slave in my empire.
That was so funny.
I wanted the Ray Black bling. That's why I wanted it.
Oh yeah.
God, I would trade the Immortal's life 10 times over.
Gosh, I freaking hate the Immortal
So many times.
But no, I think Paul is such a cool character, and I actually thought that scene was a way better display of like character than just having Kate hide a clone in a cottage in the middle of the woods. Like, dog, I don't care.
Yeah.
You did not suffer like everyone else. Like, Rex got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
His hand
your clone died.
Was his hand, bitten off? Is that what
it was? Either bitten or cut off. Yeah. He, like, had a hole in the back of his head, and he still whooped.
Gosh, you know me. I'm practically... That's one of the best title drops in...
No,
a series full of them.
But it's just, I'm so happy that they actually did something good with the duplicating multiple. Like, the prison break, that was cool. Is he in a lot of pain? Yeah, but like the whole backstory thing with it of his dad went like literally insane and brain dead from them multiplying themselves. So he's kind of like gone and got in this criminal empire. Yeah. He's an assassin. Of course he's felt pain. He's died thousands of times. I think that kind of reasoning for it. But God, that was so cool. There was so much cool stuff this season.
I know.
And it's so sad that it was such a good season that I don't remember some of it.
I know.
So much. The freaking Cecil. I thought that was a really cool.
But then after the Cecil episode, it's Eve and Mark.
It's really.
Alone.
I think. Hold on, just 1 second. I think it is interesting. Like Mark and Cecil both have kind of valid points because the conflict springs up when Mark finds out he recruited Darkwing, the new Darkwing, what's
the people
his face?
That like killed, almost killed the dude that turned into cyborg.
Yeah. He used to be voiced by Ezra Miller. Now he's not.
Yeah, well, you know,
I didn't even really notice that it changed, and I'm so happy it changed.
Anyway, whatever
what's his name?
Shoot, that's gonna bother me. The Reaniman.
The dude's boyfriend. Frick, what's the other dude now? What's William's boyfriend?
Oh God.
Like,
where's Mark Williams? Here,
that one. There
wasn't a lot of William this season.
No, really other than the the alternative Mark that was like,
I miss William, who's apparently gay.
Did he actually say that? Did I miss that? Oh my God!
It was just like it was a little like 2 seconds.
Gay Mark. Gay. We have gay Mark.
Gay Mark.
I don't want a 3D printer. Reanimate Maker Invincible.
Invincible, please.
Well, what's his name?
I'm gonna feel so.
Oh, it's D.A. Sinclair!
D.A. Sinclair! There it is. Okay, yeah, but anyway, Cecil recruits D.A. Sinclair and Darkman. And I think he's right that, like, they wouldn't be any good to anybody if they were just locked up in a cell.
That's
like,
true.
It's good to make use of what they got.
But why didn't he just tell Mark that hell was real? He banished a demon to hell. Just tell Mark, hell is real. These guys are gonna suffer eternally for what they've done.
God will quite literally sort them all out.
And but he doesn't tell him that. That's what I was thinking when that first happened. I'm like, just tell him hell's real. You banished a demon to hell in the first, and I like how that came back again.
Yeah, as Damien, Darkblood, demon detective,
coming back. They did so much with him better than in the comics, because in the comics he's a joke. Mm-hmm. So he only solves it after everyone knows that it happened.
That's really funny.
Debbie is so much better than in the comics. In the comics, Debbie doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Like, she's there, but she's just kind of like I'm a human connected to Mark. That's why Mark likes humans kind of thing. Where in the show, because they gave her such a W voice actor, you can't not have her talking to these characters like J.K. Simmons. You can't just not have these. You can't not have these interactions. So I think that helped make Debbie a better character. Mm-hmm.
And Debbie's boyfriend is funny.
He's funny. I don't remember what he does.
I kind of really like the thing how they don't make the secret identity a whole thing. Like, in like all these other things, it feels like it's such a big deal. But in this is kind of like, oh, you know?
Yeah, I like that. But at the same time, like, I do think for something like Spider-Man, like, they haven't done enough with the secret identity. Like, the MCU, they kind of did away with it, and now it's back, but we're not getting a Spider-Man movie for ever.
Well, yeah, because guess what? Guess what got delayed again? Guess what's 2028 now?
Spider-Verse.
Is it actually?
It got delayed again. Which is sad, because they had all but the finishing touches on one of the movies, and then the voice actors quit because of the, what's it called? Use of AI.
Really?
They started AI. They AI'd a credit scene.
Oh my gosh.
They used AI voices on a credit scene, and so they delayed the movie. That's what happened. And then this controversy with Gwen and...
Shamik Moore? Is that...
Yeah, that happened. And then they started using AI art, and now it got delayed again because the voice actors aren't coming back.
That Shamik Moore thing was so...
Dog, we are not getting that movie ever.
No, it's not happening. We're cooked. Let's see. How about the whole subplot with, like, in the end credit scenes with Nolan and Alan?
I loved it. I freaking loved it.
I looked for, like, there were a lot of times I liked that part more than the main plot.
That's real.
I liked it because it was basically just there was no difference in the comics. Was the same. It was exactly the same as the comics. And I keep saying that, but I know they are different, but having it like be practically the same thing was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Battle Beast is just an absolute demon dog.
Actually, I love
the ending where he wakes up and he's like, more. He's been floating in space for 4 weeks.
I know, they pick him up like a xenomorph. And like,
dog, if I see like body parts floating around a giant lion in space, I'm not picking him.
Not picking that up. Let him float around.
Yeah, for real.
Oh god. No, there was so much good this season. Like, I don't even remember, what did people say was filler this season?
People didn't like the episode with like the dragon guy.
That was a good episode.
I thought so too.
You had the cool use of like the Paul powers. You had all.
That's one of the few instances Eve uses her powers in a decent way.
Yeah. You have the start of the Invincible Co., which is a major point in the comics. I don't really like the relegation of the Guardians. I think there was a lot more they could have done with it.
Yeah.
But I know why they did it, because it's kind of like, this is Mark going on his own.
This is Mark's
breaking
story.
Out of his shell.
It's not the Guardians of the Globe.
But I liked Rex. I liked how they were like friends.
We all loved Rex.
I liked how they were friends, like fighting for the Declaration of Independence. Like, they're just talking to each other as they're throwing hands.
It's so funny. No, it's such a great way to start the season, and like. Rex's character arc, it was very complete and full, and I think a lot of us did kind of start to see it coming when he, like, especially not just comic readers, but just people.
Well, we all knew. Well, you knew it was coming, but the show watchers, you could. There was one comment I saw where it's like, Rex has been getting too much screen time. He's acting nice.
He's
What's happening?
He's getting a little too happy.
Someone's like, nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna be okay. And you knew they were a comic reader because they had because. Then in a different comment, they replied with someone who had already read the comics, and they're like, just don't look at the comics, he's gonna be okay, just keep watching the show, don't read anything. And they're like, okay, he better be okay. And I'm like, no. It was like, oh.
He was not, in fact, okay.
It was, I have Blaine, you know Blaine.
Of course.
He was, like, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, you don't want to know. And he's like, I looked up something. Tell me this is an alternate universe. And I'm like, it is. It's like, look at the flowers.
Yeah, bud.
Look at the flowers.
Look at the flowers, Lenny.
Oh. But his, like, the ending where he's like, old Rex wouldn't have gone and fight that. It's like, my pizza's getting cold. There's other superheroes out there versus I have to go help. There's other stuff I can go and do. Oh my
gosh.
It's like...
He's my hero. We're gonna miss him. He will be so missed. And yeah, we lost some of our favorite characters this season. Rex.
Like the Immortal. Twice. Favorite character.
No. But I think there were also some great additions to the cast.
Oh shit! Well, I forgot.
We haven't really talked about Oliver at all.
I love
what
Oliver.
do we how do we feel about him?
He's super cool. He creates a cool.
I wasn't a big fan of him at the beginning.
I didn't like him at the beginning of the show.
He was so annoying.
But he's grown on me. Especially after the whole, like, whatever you ever think Dad was right.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I think the comics did better.
You think so?
Because Mark says sometimes in it. He doesn't say that in the show. Under his breath, the ending panel of that comic is him going, sometimes.
Damn.
To himself.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then that kind of builds into the you were right, Oliver kind of scene at the end where I think that kind of was a very jump. I see why he did it because he saw Eve die, but Eve came back to life. And that, like, there was a lot more damage. There was a lot more other stuff.
And, like, that bit at the end of the Invincible War when he's got Angstrom by the throat and Oliver's, like, screaming at him to just kill it and kill him. And it's such a good subversion of, like, the traditional superhero trope. Because what you'd expect is for him to see his brother and be like, no, I have to be better.
But then he starts going for it.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck you.
And he goes for it, and then he makes the portal, and I'm like, oh my God, he's actually going to do it. I was thinking he was going to do it.
I thought he was going to do it.
I was like, they're going to change this. We're not going to get the...
And then, but I am a little glad. I think Angstrom's a fun character to watch. Yeah. So I am a little glad in that regard that he got away. And the arm, like, that's
cool.
Sick. That was a crazy thing to happen.
I'm interested to see what they do with Mohawk Mark later on.
Yeah, because he got away, right?
So, well, they're all in it's Mohawk, it's Mask, it's Omni, it's the face-covered one, it's Sinister, and it's one other. I don't remember which
Game
one.
Mark?
Yeah, because because it was the house one. But I'm interested to see, I know what they're going to do with it. I'm just interested to see that line.
Some people have said that they do wish we got more details about all the Invincibles backstories, but I feel like we're gonna get to see some more of that later. Yeah. Okay.
I'd say.
I have a strong feeling that we will. I have a strong feeling we will.
Okay.
I don't know. What else? God. So. You have Doc Seismic plot where Mark and Cecil are fighting.
You said something about before I cut you off. You said something about Mark and Eve alone.
Do you mean Amber?
Amber? Did I say Amber? I don't know.
I don't remember. I like Mark and Eve in this. I don't like all of the like sexual scenes that we keep getting in this. God. It's making it very hard to watch it.
Mark and Eve were playing last night. They were playing really
That
loud.
was funny. That was funny, though. That was funny. And then them fighting, and then just Mark's mom.
I know you've been having sex.
It's like, what, Mom? No. What else?
There was one detail I really enjoyed. So, the whole scene where Oliver murders the Maulers is insane, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't know 5 seconds earlier.
That's what you get
it's too late for you. It's too late for surrender.
That's what you get when you're a bad guy. Like, this actual little sociopath.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. But this detail I loved earlier in the episode when Debbie's putting the makeup on him to make him look normal. The one little spot that's not on yet, that's purple, is on like his left or right, one of his cheeks. And then later, when he murders them, there's like a dark spot of blood on that same cheek. Like
it's kind of like that's the point of his more
like his inhumanity. Yeah, his Omni-Man
because
side.
you have that very difference where it's like, yeah, he's growing up with Debbie, but he's got that he remembers everything because he said it in that.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah,
he did. Because that's
he remembers his dad talking to him.
He remembers everything because of his Flaxian in it.
Yeah.
They remember this being born, which is
strange.
Yeah, but I like it a lot more how he's calling Debbie mom in this. I don't know that he actually does that in the comics. I can't remember.
I can't either.
It's a lot. Their relationship is a lot lower in this, where this one there's a lot more of a mother-son relationship.
Yeah. Which one thing about their relationship I loved was in the Conquest episode, Oliver starts rushing to go help Mark, and Debbie. You think she's gonna tell him like stop,
and he went to stop. He was gonna listen to her this time after what happened last time.
She knows she can't really stop him, and he just wants to help. So instead of trying to stop him, she says, "You can go, but be safe about it.
Don't get grabbed." 5 seconds later, the fact that he gets one punch in, and the punch knocks him back because it took him off guard.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh.
He's spitting his teeth out. It's so gross.
He's not even spitting them. They're just ripping out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He's like
he looks like Sloth from the Goonies. It's so bad.
Well, it was just like, you see the blood trickle, and then you see the teeth falling, and like you don't even have that. Your mind's filling in the gaps of his teeth falling out because you've seen it in other stuff. In other episodes of the show, you've seen the teeth fall, but the fact that they're not showing it, they're just showing this puddle on the ground of like teeth and
ugh. It's the gore in this show is so good. I mean, Robert Kirk. There's so many points where you're like, yeah, there's the Walking Dead creator, you know.
Oh, but I think it's perfect for a superhero show where,
like, the whole point of Invincible is like showing, I guess, the reality of being a superhero, right? Like all the moral complexities, all the brutality.
I think it's the other side of the coin from The Boys. I think The Boys is like the bad of what superheroes would be in our world, where this is kind of the more realistic take on superheroes in a Marvel
realistic world. Superheroes in a
more generic superhero world.
Like The Boys is the world sucks and superheroes would suck in it. Invincible is the world sucks,
but superheroes would try and make it better.
Can try to make it better. You know? Like, you can always try. Like, it has a much more, for as brutal and even cynical as it can be at times, I think it ultimately is an optimistic show.
I think those are the two sides of what if superheroes were real.
Yes.
You have the Invincible ones where not everyone, but most people are trying to do better. Well, even Doc Seismic, he's trying to make the world a better place. He's trying to
in his own twisted, weird way.
He's trying to get rid of, like, human involvement of destroying the earth and, like, mining. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's a villain, but he's only a villain because of how he's going about his issue.
Yeah.
His idea is good. Well, even Powerplex, like, yeah, he's a villain, but in this, he's a lot more twisted by circumstances. Like,
definitely. Yeah, he's just very unwell, and you get the sense that a lot of these people could be better if they got the help they needed, or if they'd gotten the help they needed earlier at the very least. So yeah, it's very interesting.
What I think... Well, again, I really love the Invincible fan base, because I read something online, like, how fast Mark switched up for calling for Cecil, and then the comment was... Yeah, I'd switch up that fast too for a 10 out of 10 redhead. It was like, dog, you can't be saying, or like the rankings of the characters, like, who would you want to, whatever. God, it's just so funny.
Yeah, I love the jokes of the Invincible. Like, if he's invincible, why can I see him?
If he's Conquest, why is he friends with Anissa or whatever? Yeah. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm marking it.
I'm marking it
so good. I'm omniing it. I'm Ceciling it.
I haven't heard of that one.
I'm sploding it. I'm sploding. That one was probably the best one.
Yeah, I liked I'm Eving it. Anyway.
That's a dangerous one.
Oh, you know what we haven't even talked about? Mark got a new suit this season.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so funny. Because, again, comics. The suit in the comics is like the complete turn for him. He gets that suit and he starts crashing out.
Yeah.
It is like it's very close to the like it happens during the Invincible War, but it happens kind of like, again, it happens right after the Cecil thing, but he starts losing it. Like, he's getting angry and angry and angry, and it's like, there's a reason why the blue suit has so much notability in the comics. Mm-hmm. But I liked it. I think
it's a great suit. They translated it real well, and like it serves a good purpose. It's obviously a darker period in Mark's life, and I will say I think I prefer the original suit. It's very much like iconic, However, but I really appreciate and respect the new one, you know? Tucker, what do you
Yeah, I'm gonna say the old one's definitely better. Second one looks pretty sick though.
It's really sick.
I like the blue.
Dude,
and the
I know
black.
they just added it to Fortnite. Do you get that if you already had the original?
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
my God.
freestyle.
I didn't know that.
The bundle's on sale right now. I was very tempted to buy it.
I am too.
I'm really
they know what they're
tempted to buy
doing. They timed that real well.
it. But it's like,
But
I don't even play Fortnite.
I don't even
that
play
often
Fortnite
anymore.
that much.
I haven't
just-
touched Fortnite since the last time we really played.
Yeah, me neither.
Other than getting
we haven't had fucking time.
But if Rex gets a skin,
I feel so bad for the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm done with my heavy IB stuff. You guys are screwed.
We're still in the thick of it.
And he's a little child. He doesn't have
yeah,
to
I don't got
Oh, he's
troubles.
a little baby. Hey, 2
troubles.
years. Unless you drop.
Are you doing Fly B?
Yeah, right now. That's the plan.
Godspeed.
So I was planning on doing full IB, and then my mom was like, "We're not gonna make you. We saw what it did for your sister." And then I was like, "What?" And so to put that in perspective, my sister is a total nerd. She went English major, and then she realized she wasn't gonna make very much money from publishing books.
Yeah.
So she went to law. But she was an English and film major. She's a lot like you, but even more of I have no hobbies. Like, she went full, I don't go outside, I don't do anything, full recluse, and she was miserable.
Yeah.
She still is upset. She finished 11th in the class by .1 GPA points.
Wow.
It was a B in English, IB English.
Really?
Second year IB English, she got a B plus instead of an A. That's what lost her it.
Man,
Maybe Wiedelman went soft.
I hope so.
Which is really funny because her and my sister are like the same person in
You
like
think so?
writing papers. Oh my god, my sister will. I don't usually cry over like a paper, but there was one film essay we wrote last year. And my sister edited it for me, and I genuinely felt tears, just like because of how hard she was like, "This is just garbage," and she doesn't. And she doesn't edit it online. Like she'll edit it online if she has to. But this was like over a Christmas break. She was home. She prints it out, and then she was like, yeah, so we're going to get rid of this section, and she just rips it off the paper. And she just rips it off the paper.
That's
I'm like,
brutal.
oh my god.
What? Wow.
Man, she tripping.
But it worked. It was like, yeah, that section's garbage. She's like, this just needs to go.
You know what probably else would have told you that? ChatGPT probably. Probably would have told you that.
Probably not. It doesn't have the same impact when your own sister's
you know.
looking you in the eyes as she
And
rips your
rips your
paper.
work. Literally
and I spent
rips your
hours
work.
on this paper. Like this was like a final draft I was ready to submit,
course.
and she just looked
Quite literally tearing
like-
your work to pieces.
It was just a blank fit, and she knew
So
how.
you could say she looked like Omni-Man. Oh,
No.
oh
Not
shoot.
really.
She looked like Conquest.
Conquest. You'll feel your bones. Are
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt. I'm not gonna lie.
tendons.
Oh, I love this so much. I don't even know what to talk about because I feel like we keep hitting the same points because of how good it is.
We kind of do. I mean, let's see what else happened.
It's funny that we've only really talked about season 3. We haven't really gone
Yeah.
into any of the other seasons.
I know. I mean,
Which now I'm like, I was thinking the other day, actually yesterday, I was like, if I watch an episode every Thursday, how long I might be able
That's
to
so
last
funny.
till next
That
year,
is
and
hilarious.
then it'll feel like it's still dropping every week.
That's so
I'm like,
funny,
I
dude.
want more.
Well, how many are there? Like 20 something? That's like half a year, isn't it?
It might be.
You do half a year.
Who do you think the special this time's gonna be?
Rex.
Do you want it to be Rex?
I do.
All right, who do you want it to be?
I don't know.
I would love an answer from Connor.
What do you think?
While I ponder.
I think a young Alan one would be pretty cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be
That would
freaking
be
sick.
fun.
Or I
I
heard
liked Alan's one episode.
I heard someone online say a young Omni-Man. A
Ooh.
pre-Vil or a pre
It would be really interesting to see like more insight into the Viltrum Empire
All right, let's see.
from like a first-hand perspective.
What All right. How about
They
this?
think I'm unstable.
And you're gonna
I
like
fucking
this one.
Wonder why?
His mom.
Debbie,
Yes, sir.
Debbie special.
It's gonna be like her going to university and stuff.
Honestly, I'm just saying I could see why Omni-Man didn't want to conquer the planet after seeing young Debbie.
Oh my gosh,
Young Debbie.
You can't tell me that. Actually, he's reserved.
Ah,
Machine Head special.
well,
One.
hey, how about Eve? You can. Yeah, I mean Eve.
We
like-
got an Eve special.
Oh, well, I'm talking about.
Oh well, yeah, she's.
I don't know. I think she's better in comics.
Well, I'm talking about like in terms of like attractiveness, because like
I don't know. Like she's fine, but she's no young Debbie.
no young Debbie. I mean, if
it's not ridiculous.
That's like comparing apples and oranges, I guess.
That's true.
Because like red hair versus
Shrinking Ray.
Shrinking
I'm just
Ray.
saying.
Did she have a Jersey accent before this season?
I don't think so. But I can't tell if she. I went back and I watched them. Like, it sounds different, but I don't know if it's just me thinking that it's different. Because you said that, and then I started hearing.
I'm like, why does she sound like meadow soprano? I don't.
Yeah, that came out of freaking left field. I don't know where that was from. Because I thought she was Asian.
I didn't think she was Asian. I knew she wasn't Asian.
Does she not look Asian?
She looks
like
white.
a little bit.
She squints a lot, but she didn't look Asian.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Ray's a girl in the series and not a guy.
Ray?
In the comics, she's a guy.
Ray.
Does she still get with Rex?
No, they don't come back either.
Oh!
Rex doesn't really develop in the comics. Rex just is kind of a punching bag in the comics.
Yeah.
His death doesn't really hit that hard either, because it's not like he's sacrificing anything. He's just like...
It was more tough than anything. Just like, oh dang, he uses skeleton. Look at that.
Yeah, where in this it's like, no, don't put your hand in there. I was praying that it was gonna go differently as the show is going. I was like, happen. I saw the hole and I'm like, he's gonna try it and it's not gonna work. I'm like, he's gonna use his costume. Yeah. This was just a bliss. That was me.
Use your clothes, Rex.
I mean, did you watch X-Men 97?
I did.
He gambited himself, dude.
That's such a good show. I forgot.
Spoiler. I'm just kidding. I don't plan on watching it.
Oh my gosh. Why
not?
That was my favorite. That was my favorite superhero show.
That's like that was in the middle of the series too. It wasn't even like a finale or anything.
Really? Yeah.
That was just like a generic, and it didn't even end the episode. It was just in the middle of an episode.
Really?
It was like
towards the end.
It was towards the end, but it didn't.
He got rid of the big threat,
but it didn't end the episode. There was still stuff after it. It wasn't like a cliffhanger where it's like,
it ended on Rogue crying over Gambit.
The Billie Eilish song that hurt.
Oh my gosh!
The soundtrack this season was really good.
I mean, they've always done
except
great.
the Conquest.
Can you pull up the? Yeah,
I have the.
Because there was one song.
I was listening to the soundtrack on my way here.
Sick.
I can pull up the.
No, I think it's always had a pretty good soundtrack.
There was one song I was like, freaking gooning when it came on. It was so
okay.
Was it Go?
No, it was
How does it feel that some people's first experience with Joji is Invincible?
That's fascinating.
Did you grow up with Filthy Frank?
Not really.
I knew who he was.
Yeah, I knew of him.
Invincible soundtrack.
Here's the episode. So Go is in the first one, Chemical Brothers. You're my hero. Was there any? I don't really.
Oh, the Nine Inch Nails song. That slapped.
So I thought it was good, but I was kind of missing out on like the whole Tom Tom Omni Man one. Yeah, I was like, there wasn't really
I was
that.
kind of hoping that would come back.
I didn't,
or something like it.
I wanted something like it.
Yeah,
I was really hoping for like a Franz.
Well, Franz Ferdinand.
They did so good.
He's very good. Well, they're very good. I didn't even realize they did the opening of the Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
that was fire.
Oh, that's fun.
I would kill to go to one of their stuff.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I don't know. There's just so much good about it, and it's so much to talk about. I feel like I could go on a 3-season, 8-episode season talking about this awesome show.
We probably could.
And like, when was Karma Police? Was that last season? Because that was
the season 2 beginning. I believe.
I think it was the.
Yeah,
I have the full list with all the episodes.
Yeah, no, because that was like the opening scene of season 2. He's like doing good deeds, but he's also flashing back to.
Yeah,
and as he's flying the sky, you see him like screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Them, and then what was that? Wasn't the end of The Boys, was it?
Oh, the end of season 4 with Heart-Shaped Box.
It was Heart-Shaped Box.
I'm like,
they keep getting Amazon it there. He's giving them a paycheck.
That might have been my favorite needle drop in The Boys, and The Boys has a lot of really, really good ones.
I don't even I remember it being there, but I have to go back and rewatch The Boys.
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
Gabriella watched The Boys recently.
Really?
Yeah, one of your past guests. Yeah. She was like, "Why is it 2026?"
Oh,
she was pissed off about that.
Yeah,
might have to watch that.
The Boys. You should. I think I watched it when I was your age.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
it came out like last year at the end of it. A new season did.
Maybe I watched it junior year.
You might have
The Boys.
The Boys.
That sounds right.
You did an episode with Grayson last year.
No, yeah, I watched season 4 as it was coming out, but I got caught up on it.
I got caught up junior year in AP Physics, which is really funny that I still did how I did on that exam while watching The Boys and sleeping.
That's really funny.
That's my biggest crowning achievement in school.
What'd you
was
get?
my 4 on AP Physics after
Goodness,
sleeping
dude.
through the entirety of that class.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Mr. McPhipps, my goat.
What a king.
Is this still a school project? Or is this evolved?
It's kind of evolved. Like, I started it for my IB CAS, and like I could have stopped it by now because it's supposed to be like, I don't know, however much work. But like I do it at this point. You know, like I said, I could have stopped it, but I do it because I enjoy it at this point.
I did it because I liked it.
I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it.
I hope he comes
Punisher,
back.
my
I
goat.
hope he comes back
Next week, I think. Oh,
Dude, that's
Frank Castle.
I haven't watched the show. I've only watched recaps on the episode because I haven't had time. So I just been watching like 20-minute recaps of like what happens in the episodes.
The
and
new
I need,
Daredevil?
I need to go and watch it.
yeah. I mean, the ending of the new episode.
Because that's still my favorite piece of Marvel media is the season 1 fight scene. There will nothing.
Daredevil's easily the best thing Marvel's ever done in live action.
That's not ridiculous.
Best thing in the MCU, and it is MCU canon. Yeah.
What has been your favorite episode of Invincible?
I mean, the obvious answer is the last one.
Yeah, I will say it might be recency bias, but I feel like the Conquest episode's an easy answer.
But other than that...
But also, I think the season 1 finale gives it a good run for its money.
Yeah.
Like what are some of the
take a
best?
gander.
Yeah, I might pull up an episode list. Invincible.
I can't think of any season 2 things that really...
Yeah, season 2 was, I mean, it had its moments, but it wasn't like the best.
It's been a while. It was pretty sweet when he killed Angstrom.
Angstrom,
I did like that a lot.
I thought you were stronger.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mark's line in the last episode, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are.
Well, that's ripped straight from the comics.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. That's gotta be the coldest line.
But then right after you have Conquest going, then give me your best shot.
Yeah.
And like he still gets his butt handed to him afterwards.
Yes.
Like his hand just snapped.
Oh.
The visual of like it's not even just his hand, it's his wrist too, because his hand is back
It's
on his
poking
elbow.
through.
Well, it's on his elbow. His hand is in the punch. I'm like, oh my
It's
god.
so bad. And he's just
and then
pushing
after
through
the
it.
Conquest, the whole monologue, I'm so alone, he's like, take it to the grave.
And then just starts going for
And
it.
like it's so scary because like he's done this before to people that he's killed, like because he doesn't have anyone to talk to, so he talks to his victims.
Yeah.
That's so
or like
cool.
sometimes I think so hard I am about to cry, but I know there's
But I don't,
nothing in
'cause
no
what would
one
be
or
the point?
nothing in the universe.
No one in the universe would
Oh my
care.
Crazy, dude.
Oh,
What a
he's so
freaking
cold. He's so cold.
So good.
Oh, it's
I
so
sure
ridiculous.
hope he doesn't escape.
Yeah, that. Boy, what a surprise
Oh, he's in a
that would
tungsten
be.
cube. It's fun.
Oh, of course, with dynamite.
And it'll explode.
Yeah, because shooting a nuclear orbital laser killed someone who is like numerically weaker than him before.
Yeah. So that
Omni-Man.
calculates.
God, that was such a cool scene thinking back to it. This will stop him for hours. Or this will knock him on his... When they shot him with the laser, and Cecil's like, luckily that'll buy us a few hours.
Yeah.
Or maybe nothing at all, as they just see him standing up, and he's like, my turn, and he just blows it up.
Doesn't even mess up his haircut.
I can't wait for that scene. You don't know it because you've not...
I'm not there yet. But I do know the redemption of Omni-Man is on its way.
Dude, in the comics, these characters are jacked. I realized this recently. Like, they have
That's true.
huge arms.
They do.
Have you seen the... Let me pull up the
Well, now it's just like Alan's the biggest one.
Yeah, but in the comic...
I kind of really like those videos, too, where it's like drawing invincible characters from memory. It's just like all these crappy ones, and it's just Alan is just ripped.
hyper defined.
Yeah. Freaking awesome
Where
sauce.
is it? Where is
I'm
that?
gonna finish the comics probably, like, soon.
I would. They're amazing.
They're great. And, like, the art evolves over time. It's pretty sick. Like, there's a complete difference from the
Here you
first
go. Like, look at those arms. Like, that's not normal. Like, he doesn't look like that. That's Mark.
Frank?
No, that's Mark.
Oh.
There's so much good stuff coming. Except it's gonna be a while till we get the next real.
It will.
Like,
Super bad.
not super bad, but like
The
Vulture Mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all excited. We've been at this. Do you want to wrap this up? I don't know.
I don't know. I could talk for hours on Invincible.
Is there? I mean, what else do you want to say? Anything?
Title card.
Title card.
I bet it every time we say his name, it better. Every time we say it better happen. I better.
You know how we should have started this episode was.
Well, that's why I tried to do it. Like, who wants to introduce it? We're talking about Invincible.
Welcome
we can redo the intro.
We could always do it now.
True. Let's
Start again.
Hold up.
What's an hour and 10 minutes? You can always start again.
Make another intro. All right. Well, I guess we.
Out there.
Hold on. Let me. Welcome to Pull.
No, we're not doing it on Pulp Diction.
No, we're doing it on Invincible. Why would you do it for Pulp Diction?
Welcome to. And it's just like your stupid title card.
Oh shoot! I forgot I had.
Why do you have that?
Just in case.
When did you get this?
My uncle gave it to me for Christmas.
In case it gets awkward.
Why did you just have that?
That. Yeah. You said. Man. It's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Title card.
Thanks so much for watching. Oh, this has been a great show, everybody. We're so honored, so pleased to have you. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
Invincible, watch it if you haven't already.
I would hope you have watched it because you have had the entire show spoiled for you.
We've talked about like every spoiler in the show.
Wow.
I don't know what you really expect coming into a podcast about TV episode, like a dive into TV and movies.
Wait, what's that dude? I gotta mention that one dude. The dude in the comment section. You know that dude that like leaves the finger pointing? It's
India respect button.
India respect button.
I can't hate him.
What about the guy on the edge? Okay. Who's the generic guy? Is that you?
Generic?
Are you the generic comment guy?
I don't know. Let's check.
Eric seems so happy in this. I don't think that's Tucker.
That's not you? Who is that?
Hold up. Let me find Pulp Diction.
This will probably get cut out, but I want to shout out this guy.
It will not get cut out.
Yeah, Eric.
Which one is it? Is
Eric
it the
doesn't
one
like me talking about his channel.
I don't care what Eric thinks.
Oh.
True.
Eric's a little smelly, poopy head.
Ew.
It's this guy.
22 views in one day. Eric fell off.
Yeah,
Who
but
is that?
I don't know. He comments on all of the Eric videos. Look, so he commented on the recent one. He's back. Eric sounds so happy in this video again. Unlike past videos, you actually have energy that makes you sound alive. It makes me so happy to see. Great video. Can't wait for more.
Bro, this freaking Piece's wife, dude. I had to crash out of him.
Are you serious right now? I'm trying to watch Pulp Diction where he really call you a single dad only for only real fans now.
He said, I'm a day one. I don't know who you are. So
I'm the only real day one.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, sir.
Where's the how long Pulp Diction should have lasted one?
Oh my god.
That was the same guy.
I crashed the fuck out on that one.
I know.
This dude's getting crashed out on in every one of my comment sections.
What's his profile picture? It's Valorant.
It's Valorant? Ew.
Go figure.
Hold on.
I hope
it's the Gladiator one.
Nice, Dylan.
This is how long Pulp Diction should have lasted. You've got some nerve saying this. No. Emma Jo, she followed my photo account.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
After Tucker posted. Wasn't after you, it was after Tucker.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. So, yeah, what are we thinking about that Invincible video game they're working on?
Better be freaking good.
It better be like these Roblox clips I keep seeing online. Have you seen these Roblox games?
Yes,
Dog,
I
why
have.
are they working on a real game?
Oh my gosh.
Superman game isn't possible. Yes, it is.
Yes,
My
it
ass
is.
it is.
Yeah, it should be good. Unless they cancel it like Wonder Woman. Oh.
Oh wait, you were talking about a special earlier. You know what they need a special of? Spider-Man and Invincible.
I mean,
It's Marvel. That'll never happen.
Give me a
yeah,
clap.
not just
Don't
Marvel,
please get
but
a clap.
Disney. No, you're not getting a clap.
Ouch. Have you seen the new Marvel Spider-Man show?
I started it. I didn't think it was so bad.
Is it
I had it
3D?
on in the background when I was working on my
I
HLE.
hate 3D freaking animated.
It's like a really weird animated. I'm still not.
It kind of looks okay. I'm gonna just say this. It looks like the Fortnite cell shading got animated into a show,
That's so true.
and it's sad how realistic it is that I see that.
Yeah.
that's
Now
so
that you
true,
say
though.
that.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I can see
I will
that.
say I don't think it's a bad show. I watched like half of it. I'll probably finish it at some point or another. Even if just for my goat Charlie Cox as Daredevil
Wait, he's in it?
for like one episode.
Oh.
There's a lot of cameos I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just been so busy to watch almost
I
anything.
know.
My mind is it still feels foggy.
I was watching Smallville. I haven't been able to watch an episode in a long while.
Where is
My brain feels like what I don't even know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like what it feels like to watch a Jen Eric video. That didn't really make any sense.
The 2-5 go. Swish.
Real.
Bucket 6-7. God, I need just to walk away from society for 2 months. I just need to,
Society.
I just need to
Speaking
go
of society, go check out Connor Smith's first appearance on this podcast,
Oh.
the Joker episode.
And number 2, The Grinch. I like talking about green things.
Clearly.
Next episode is about green eggs and ham.
What's the green thing in
Shrek.
Invincible?
The green person?
Monster Girl?
No, the Green Guardian or whatever.
The Green Guardian, yeah.
Bro, what the frick, bro? The one where he's like, I'm gonna go by Rex now. I knew it was gonna happen, but it
What?
was still freaking weird.
Robot?
The robot, bro.
Rudy?
I don't
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
kind of like, I already stole his DNA to make my
Yeah.
body. Now I'm going to
That's
steal
such
his
an
name.
odd choice. No, I've never...
can't-
Robot's always creeped me out.
What a freak.
He is a freak.
He's trying to be freaky with Monster Girl, too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Well, because he was attracted to Rex, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty freaking weird, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still weird that Monster Girl is a 26-year-old woman in a child's body.
That's freaking weird. Now she's fixed.
God bless. Thank you, Robot.
Yeah,
That's
but she
Robot.
gets weaker over time. Because her powers is based on her age. Do you not remember that? The younger
don't
she
remember
gets, the
that.
stronger she gets.
That's
Really?
true.
Dude, she's just become a baby then at that point.
When she becomes a baby, she basically becomes like a
A
Godzilla.
Godzilla, a kaiju.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
I saw a YouTube short about that.
I didn't. But I'm sure it will happen.
I don't know that they'll do it.
Right.
They've cut a lot of the Anissa stuff, and it involves her.
Who's Anissa again?
She's the one...
The
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see her again.
I hope they do it.
I'm sure they will.
Anissa,
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Anissa, am I right, guys? Please do that. Okay. You could have just.
I'll show you this.
Speaking of baby, what was up with that business baby guy?
no,
Like it's-
why was he there? I forgot. Why
Shows up for like 5 seconds and
know.
gets crushed.
And he still did more than Immortal did.
Yeah.
It's so real.
All my mortal haters, put your hands up.
Woo!
Heyo.
Yo.
Is that gonna be? Are you gonna just carry this around with you now?
I should.
You should just pull that out in conversations when it gets,
Yeah.
it gets dull.
If I don't like a conversation,
Say-
I'll
say-
just...
Like they make a stupid joke.
That'd be kind of awesome. A real life soundboard.
What?
Oh, that's so silly. Oh, money.
Yeah. When is this getting sponsors?
That's a
Pulp,
good
when
question.
is Pulp
When
Diction
is
gonna
Dollar
stop?
Shave
Probably,
Company
probably
Chino?
when you get a schedule down, probably.
Yeah.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to do them like that. You know who really needs a schedule?
Generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except I still love him very much.
I should release the. Did I ever tell you
The
about
expose?
that? The expose that I spent
Yeah.
like months writing.
No,
It's-
please.
I have I think it was longer than my HLE. It was just like random stuff. I have.
Is it real stuff?
Yeah, most of it's just real stuff where it makes him sound, or where I say it really badly, but it's just like, one of it was like, and he got 100 on his math test for like, and I said the unit that he got 100 on, but I say it like he did it really badly.
Generic. The
That's
man
funny.
you know
as Jen
The
underscore.
man
Aaron.
the man you know, versus the man I know.
Nah, wait, no. The icon.
This is gone from. This is slowly just broken
This
down.
is devolved.
This is like, oh no. All right.
If he's devolved, why can I see him?
True.
It's a little loud.
If he's generic, why is he so
This is the
unique?
thing. That's the.
Oh wait, that's not.
No, that's pretty to the point.
No. If he's, I don't know.
That was still so funny.
If he's generic, why is he real?
Correct. I can see why you like pressing these buttons.
Yeah,
it's
right?
very fun.
It's very fun.
Man, you got me tweaking, man.
Well, seeing as I don't think we're going anywhere,
Let's have
thank
the title
you
card.
for listening.
You better have at least one title card. Just
And
throw
make
in there.
sure you subscribe, or I will come find you.
Yes,
Especially
sir.
you in... Wait, what's the dude's name? No, especially you who always comment stuff about how long this thing should last. Because you know it's going to last forever.
Just like.
Just like in. Oh wait, where's my
What are you
Tucker?
doing?
Say something. Like, set me up.
Whoa! What?
You need to set me up.
Dylan,
You know, I wish
you look so cool.
Dylan, you're so strong, you
And
might
big.
as well be in.
Yeah.
Was that cool?
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
The crowd liked that one.
The crowd loves me. What can I say? Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now.